Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Brenton Roy.
And I'm Felicia Donaldson. Thanks for joining us.
The Ball State Board of Trustees voted today to find out how much the airwaves of WIPB, the university's public TV station, are worth. The reason is the exploding demand for bandwidth to feed everyone's cell phones, tablet computers, and other wireless devices. At the same time, though, the university restated its commitment to public broadcasting. NewsLink Indiana's Mackenzie Clark has a story.
Growing up, you probably watched Barney, Big Bird, or even now, Downton Abbey. Today, the Ball State Board of Trustees voted on a decision that could change how you go about viewing those shows. They voted to look into the possibility of auctioning off the airwaves of Ball State's public television station, WIPB-TV.
Auction, which would be those people who wish to participate can essentially, metaphorically, put their toe in the water to see if there is opportunities and value in proceeding further in the auction.
Ball State Channel 49 is operating on a broadcast spectrum that may be worth millions of dollars. That's because cell phone companies are hungry for as much of the airwaves as they can get to feed everyone's increasing demand for wireless content. The university is putting the station into a reverse auction. That means that they'll know how much money, or at least a gauge of how much money they'll be getting out of the station if they decide to sell it. They have to be in the auction by October, although nothing starts until 2016.
If you want to find out if there's something there that you want to look at, then you can do that, but you can pull out at any time you want.
Ball State could sell off a portion of its spectrum and still continue operating exactly as it does today. As you probably know, there are television stations that operate 4, 5, 6 different channels.
Ball State TCOM professor Dom Karisti says the sale could go two ways.
And so if Ball State sold off a portion, they'd still be able to operate pretty much similar to the way they operate today. Now, if they were to sell off the entire spectrum, then of course that would mean that the television station as we know it now wouldn't be able to continue.
Ball State's Vice President of Technology Phil Repp says it's up to the trustees, but in order to learn their options, they must explore.
This auction will work with a series of bids that may or may not come back to you during that process. And when they come back, there are decisions to be made about, do you stay in and find out more, or do you say, no, this is not going to happen. So
the university news release said Ball State wants to make sure it can fulfill its commitment to quality participation in Indiana public broadcasting and whether the university can fully achieve its academic mission. In Muncie, Mackenzie Clark, NewsLink, Indiana.
Ball State will enter the action in 2016. Its top priority, completing and maintaining its academic mission throughout the process.
Also today, the trustee decided Emmons Auditorium will be getting a $5 million expansion and renovation. The plan includes an addition of about 12,000 square feet to the front of the building. And the Ball State trustees today approved the concept and structure of a new College of Health. Indiana Health occupants are expected to grow by nearly 25% by the year 2022. Ball State University held a ribbon-cutting ceremony today. NewsLink reporter David Jones has more at the story.
Ball State held a ribbon-cutting ceremony in honor of Botsford and Swinford Halls at Johnson Complex today. The ceremony, which was a rededication to the recent renovations made to the 4-story building, included a tour of the building and live music played by Ball State students. Ball State President Paul Ferguson was on hand to make remarks about the 5th renovation since 2007.
This could not be a better demonstration of what we're about at Ball State University with our refreshed vision. And you all know it by now, that Ball State aspires to be a model of the most student-centered and community-engaged of the 21st century public research universities, transforming entrepreneurial learners into impactful leaders, improving the quality of life for all.
Johnson A is home to 600 students of the emerging media and communications living learning communities. The building features a multi-purpose room with a demonstration kitchen, a video studio with a green screen, high-tech computer lab with the latest iMac and Windows computers, and a mediascape for collaboration. Audio studio with recording equipment, music practice room with a digital keyboard, craft and gaming room, and a fitness and laundry facility, and a meeting space for students. Ball State completed renovations in May of 2015 with the intention to open in fall of 2015. So far, so good. In Muncie, David Jones, NewsLink, Indiana.
For more information on the Johnson Complex or any other residence hall, you can call and visit Ball State's website at bsu.edu and search housing.
2 people in Indiana have died after contracting the West Nile virus. The Indiana Department of Health would not release information about the people who died. However, Vanderburgh County Health Department announced yesterday that 1 person there died from the mosquito-borne virus and another has tested positive and is being treated. The recent deaths have prompted state health officials to warn residents to take precautions against mosquitoes in an effort to halt the spread of the virus.
3 people are in police custody after a Muncie man's encounter with a teen he met on Facebook ended with him being robbed at gunpoint. The 30-year-old victim was apparently visited by a 17-year-old local girl in his apartment of the 1200 block of West Bethel Avenue. When he went down the stairway to go meet the girl, the victim told police he felt a shock on the back of his leg. The Star Press is reporting William Osiris Jarnigan Jr., Amnista Dawn Kirby, and the 17-year-old girl are all in custody and face various charges including robbery, obstruction of justice, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Today marks the first day of fall, and I don't think the weather got a memo.
I tried to break out the flannel today, but I ended up breaking out in a sweat.
Adam, let's get a heads up for what the weather is going to look like.
That's right. We have been above average for this time of year. I mean, September, first day of fall, we're supposed to be in the mid-70s. But today we saw all this sunlight that provided us to get up to that 80-degree mark. And right here in Muncie now, we have cooled down to 62 now that we are in the evening and night hours with clear skies, some calm winds out of the west right now, and they'll be shifting throughout the night and remaining calm. But coming up, I'll talk about the system out in the plains as well as down here in near the Carolina-Georgia Gulf. So coming up, I'll talk about these rain systems and possibly them affecting our forecast coming up. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Adam. Coming up, we find out what's next for Volkswagen after recent allegations.
And hear about a new $5 million renovation coming to campus.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Volkswagen CEO Martin Winterkorn announced he is stepping down today. The embattled CEO is resigning after U.S. regulators revealed last week that Volkswagen cheated in emissions tests. Volkswagen allegedly tampered with the engines to allow them to emit less pollutants during testing than they would on the road, allowing them to pass inspection. The automaker is admitting that some 11 million Volkswagens and Audi vehicles worldwide showed similar emission issues. Winterkorn had this to say about the scandal last week.
The irregularities in our group's diesel engines go against everything VW stands for. At present, I also do not yet have the answers to all the questions, but we are working hard to find out exactly what happened. To do that, we are putting everything on the table as quickly, rigorously, and transparently as possible, and we continue to cooperate closely with the relevant government organizations and authorities. This quick and full clarification has the highest priority. We owe that to our customers, our employees, and the public.
A busy first day in the nation's capital for Pope Francis. He was welcomed to the U.S. with a lavish ceremony at the White House, and he is far from done today. Chris Welsh is in Washington with the latest.
Pope Francis's first visit to the U.S. is grinding Washington to a halt. A sea of screaming faithful filled the streets of the nation's capital as the Pope made his way to St. Matthew's Cathedral. Speaking to a collection of U.S. bishops, the pontiff pulled no punches. He told the bishops to make sure the sex abuse scandal that rocked the Catholic Church never happens again.
We know how much the wounds of these last few years have weighed on your spirit, and we have to hope that such crimes will never repeat themselves.
Earlier in the day, President Obama extended a warm welcome to the Holy Father.
We see a living example of Jesus' teachings.
Neither leader shied away from the tough issues.
Climate change is a problem we can no longer be left to a future generation.
You remind us that the Lord's most powerful message is mercy. From the refugee who flees war-torn lands to the immigrant who leaves home in search of a better life.
Pope Francis even quoted Martin Luther King Jr., urging more be done for the poor and the planet.
We can say that we have defaulted on a promissory note, and now is the time to honor it.
Reporting in Washington, I'm Chris Welch.
The State Fair stage collapse case of 2011 is headed to the Indiana Supreme Court. The State Fair Commission is in a legal battle with Mid-America Sound over who has to pay the damage claims after the accident. Mid-America Sound says that they have signed an agreement with the commission that says that they should too share the claims. The commission says that they are excused from damage claims made against the sound company and should not be required to pay. A new group is working to end sexual assault in Indiana. The Indiana Coalition to End Sexual Assault is creating programs to help victims. They will also train advocates to see the signs of sexual assault. According to the federal data, 1 in 6 high school girls are victimized each year. The coalition plans to expand to also create programs dealing with campus sexual assault, child seduction, date rape, and human trafficking.
Coming up, the weather has been clear and sunny these last few days, but will it continue?
Your full weather forecast is next.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
You know, after a hard week of classes, I'm definitely wanting some sunshine.
You know, you better enjoy it while it lasts because fall is here.
Yep, fall is definitely here. Today is the first day of fall for us, but we haven't felt fall weather yet. Just today, like I said, Muncie got up to 80, Fort Wayne at 78, Indianapolis and Terre Haute at 83, and then even Shelbyville at the hot spot of 86. So we've been well above those fall temperatures. But right now in Muncie, we are currently sitting at 62 with calm conditions and clear skies, so still mild tonight. But as I talked about earlier, we have this system off to our west as well as down by the Carolinas. Fortunately, this system to our west is going to stay there. But what I'm watching right now is this system to our south that's going to be pushing in. And as this pushes in, moisture is going to come into our area. And as we head closer to Saturday morning and Friday evening, this rain will start to enter into Indiana, and possibly Saturday morning we could see some isolated rain showers. So I'll be watching that this week as well as our other forecasters. But for tonight, I am forecasting a low of 53, so it's going to be cool, but still clear skies for us, and those calm conditions will persist. For your day planner tomorrow, it's going to be a lot like today was. We're going to start off a little chilly, but as we go throughout the day, we're going to get up to near 80. Right now, I'm forecasting a high of 78. And then by the evening, we're going to cool back down into the mid 60s and even the upper 50s rather for the night. But for your 7-day forecast, like I talked about, Thursday and Friday are going to be sunny days for us. And then Saturday, right now, I'm just calling for an isolated shower or two in the morning. But for the rest of the day, we will see cloudy conditions, which will continue into Sunday. And then for the rest of the week, we're looking at warmer temperatures and getting to be sunnier skies, highs in the mid to upper 70s as well. So we're going to have a great end of the week this week, but then come this weekend, it looks like some more rain possibilities will move in.
Coming up, the women's volleyball team prepares to take on their first MAC opponent of the season.
And Yorktown Volleyball looks to keep their perfect season alive.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Josh Shelton with sports. Ball State's women's volleyball team wrapped up their non-conference play on Saturday, finishing with 6 wins and 8 losses. Coach Steve Shondell, however, is looking to start the upcoming conference play on a high note.
To get off to a good start. You know, I think every team, when you go into conference play, you want to get off to a good start. And going on the road, first weekend is always a tough challenge because the home team always has an advantage playing at home. So we know we're going to have to be really mentally tough to play at Toledo. Traditionally, we have a great rivalry with Toledo. We have great matches with them every time we play them. So we know it's going to be a tough match, and we just hope we can find a way to come out with a win.
Ball State will take the lessons they learned at Toledo, where they start conference play tomorrow against the Rockets at 7 p.m. Moving on now to high school volleyball, the undefeated Yorktown Tigers take on the Cowan Blackhawks. The Tigers, who are ranked 9th in the nation, have won all but 2 sets this season. We give you a look now at some of the highlights from the game. Coach Stephanie Bloom leads the Lady Tigers. Here in the last set, Ryan Neal spikes to open up the scoring for the Tigers. The Blackhawks wouldn't get a few points, only on a technicality. Celebration short-lived as Ryan Neal serves up to the Blackhawks end, but it's shut down by Olivia Reed, and they'll keep that commanding lead as they head into match point here in the third set. Rosenthal sets it up to Kylie Murray, taps it over the blocker for the win. It only took 3 sets as the Tigers clipped the Blackhawks' wings, moving to 20-0 on the season. The Tigers will compete in the Muncie Central Invitational over the weekend, where they plan to keep their perfect season alive. Sticking with the high school theme, we take a look at what will be happening on the gridiron Friday night. Muncie Central is coming off a 31-30 win against Indianapolis Tech and look to ride that momentum into Kokomo on Friday. The West Dell Warriors face off against 4-1 Monroe Central at 7 o'clock on Friday, and Yorktown squares off against the Shelbyville Golden Bears at 7:30 in Yorktown. The Delta Eagles edged out Mount Vernon last week 29-26 and will take on the Newcastle Trojans at home under the lights. Some big high school games here in Delaware County and another big game in Evanston for the Cardinals on Saturday. Back to you guys.
Coming up, find out what music artists are coming to Emmons Auditorium.
And Tracy Morgan is back and better than ever. More to come after the break.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Brian Beam, and this is your entertainment news. Hunger Games star Jennifer Lawrence was spotted today sporting a new look. The Oscar Award winner dyed her long brown locks bleach blonde in preparation for her new film, Passengers. Directed by Morton Tildum, Passengers is a romantic sci-fi drama telling the story of a traveling spacecraft carrying thousands of passengers to a distant colony. During the journey, Jim Preston, played by Chris Pratt, is awakened by 90 years early by a malfunction in the ship's sleep chambers. This is when he wakes up Aurora, played by Jennifer Lawrence, and they instantly fall in love. The stage is set at Emmons Auditorium for the next installment of their artist series. Shadows of the 60s, Music of Motown will take center stage as they highlight some of Motown's biggest hits and most prominent artists. The show is known for its attention to detail and authenticity. The concert will conclude with the grand finale featuring the music of Smokey Robinson, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Gladys Knight, Martha Reeves, Junior Walker, and much more. For more information and more ticket info, you can call or visit the Emmons Auditorium box office. Welcome to America, Pope Francis. But first, let me take a selfie. That's right, as Pope Francis made his way into the White House today, he was more than happy to stop by and take selfies with well-wishers. As 16-year-old student from a nearby high school was lucky enough to take one of these selfies with the Pope. She was quoted saying, "It was a pretty nice experience seeing him and actually shaking his hand and taking a picture with him. The only rule when taking a selfie with the Pope, no selfie sticks." After actor Tracy Morgan's surprise appearance at the Emmy Awards this past weekend, he was officially landed his first movie role since he was severely injured in a fatal bus crash in June of 2014. Morgan will join a cast including Howie Day, Ice Cube, Dean Norris, and Jillian Bell in the upcoming comedy Fist Fight. Filming will start later this month, but if you just can't wait to see Morgan on the big stage, have no fear. It was recently announced that he will be hosting NBC's Saturday Night Live October 17th. That's all for your entertainment news.
And with the game this Saturday, we can only hope that the weather is in our favor.
Yes, some sunshine and clear skies would be nice. Let's toss it off to Adam for one last look at the weather. What's it looking like, Adam?
Thanks, guys. It looks like this Saturday, it looks like our team's going away, but where they're going to be at, I was checking earlier. It seems like it's going to be fine for game day. No rain possibilities for them. Back here in home, on Thursday that I was talking about, it's going to be a lot like today. We're going to start off a little cool where you might want to grab that hoodie or jacket in the morning. But then by afternoon, it'll be warmed up, so you'll probably want to get rid of that hoodie. But for Fridays will be our last sunny day for the week. Before Saturday and Sunday, some clouds will move in with the chance of rain on Saturday. As I was talking about earlier, we're going to see that influx of moisture coming from the Carolinas and the Atlantic. And then Sunday, that cloudiness will remain around. And then the start of the next work week, we will start to see a slight warm up each day after that, but sunny skies will return. Possibly another chance of rain on Tuesday. It's still a little too far off to tell right now, but you'll want to check back in each night for updates on that.
And that's all for today's NewsLink Indiana. Oh. So it seems like the weather this weekend for the game is going to turn out really good. I hope that we can go in and get the W.
Yeah, definitely. I know we've been playing pretty decently this week. I heard near the Chicago where the game is, we're supposed to be seeing some good conditions against Northwestern. So hopefully with those good conditions, we'll get out a W, and hopefully we'll see some good games for that tonight. Well, Saturday night, rather.
What do you think, Josh? What do you think how we're going to do on Saturday?
I think with the new quarterback and everything, we're going to be all set to go. It'll definitely be a good run. We'll give the Northwestern a good run for their money as we face our second-ranked team of the season. So hopefully it'll be a good game. I'm looking forward to it.
And I know I'm excited. And that's all for today's NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch them tomorrow night at 6 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.